islands under one rule and left Kamoali'i as the chief of Kauai up until his son Kamehameha II took over and exiled him over in Oahu after that. Now folks, out here on the left hand side is the shoreline of Poipu. Now in Poipu you could find majority of all the hotels on Kauai down there. The other thing that you could find down in this area is the old Koloa town. It was a big sugar plantation camp back in the day. And folks, the old Koloa sugar mill was the first one started in the state of Hawaii back in the 1800s. So folks, just a little over 120 years of growing sugar here on the island of Kauai. It all ended back in October when the last sugar mill on the west side of the island, it finally shut down for good. So now, no more sugar industry for the island of Kauai. And just like everywhere else in the United States, the sugar industry in the state of Hawaii, it fell victim to job outsourcing. A lot of the jobs, they were sent overseas to third world countries and places like Brazil, who don't have any strict labor laws or strict agriculture laws. So after a while, Hawaii could never compete with the cheaper sugar prices. So the sugar mills around here, they started falling like flies, one by one. Whereas back in the day, they grew the sugar from Polihali State Park. That's located way up on the northwest end of the island, all the way out to the north shore. So everything you see around us here was all once sugar cane fields as far as I can see. But yeah, Poipu has two really nice golf courses over there. Keahuna Plantation and the Poipu Bay. No, how's everybody doing so far? You guys good? Yeah? Anybody getting sick yet?
Hey, Donald, how fast are we traveling?
It depends. Totally varies. Average speed is around 110 miles an hour or so.
We're traveling 110 miles an hour?
Yeah. If we got lower and I went this fast, and you would really see it. But yeah, from up here, mine and your eyes kind of play tricks on your eyes play tricks on your mind. Now coming out here on the left hand side, you got the towns of Omau, Lauai, and Kalahil. This is the southwest side of the island. Now the town of Kalahil, that's where I was born and raised. It's my hometown. On the hilltop there, you could find a 9-hole golf course known as Kukuya Olono. They're running about $8 to $9 for a round of golf there, folks. Very unusual for the state of Hawaii. On the shoreline of Kalahil, the darker green areas out there, they're coffee fields, Kauai coffee. If you guys want to go and check it out, they do have a visitor center there. It's pretty cool. The best thing about it, they give you free samples of coffee, folks. You guys played at Kukuya Olono? Oh, that's a nice golf course. The greens are a little fast, but it's really nice. The views, the scenery, it's really beautiful. Yeah, alrighty, folks. You guys want to go and look at a waterfall? Of course. Oh, we're going to go into the valley of Hanapepe in front of us. In there, a waterfall known as Manawai o Puna, or the branching streams of Puna is what that means. But folks, for some strange reason, tourists keep on calling it Jurassic Falls, and we don't know why. Okay, maybe it's because the first Jurassic Park was filmed here, beginning and at the ending of the movie. But folks, from Hanapepe Valley in front of us, all the way out to the edge of Waimea Canyon, top of the mountain to the shoreline, this is all private land out here. Now, the land here is owned by a family known as the Robinsons, and they own approximately 16 to 20% of the island here, including the island out there on the horizon, island of Ni'ihau, which is also known as the Forbidden Island. But hey, more on them later. We'll just go look at the waterfall for now. Now folks, I do get a lot of questions about the waterfall back here, which is going to be coming off on your far right hand side. First of all, a lot of people like to know if you can drive or hike up to the base of the waterfall. You could. There is actually a dirt road that comes out here. But folks, if you get caught back here, it will prosecute you for trespassing. It does sit on private land now. And the other question, because I was born and raised on an island and not too far away from here, have I ever been here before? Oh yeah, been here a couple times actually. Folks, back here there's lots of wild pigs, so we did some pig hunting. Was it legal? No, absolutely not. Did a lot of trespassing back in the day also. out here, or up here, is the Kahili Falls. Beautiful, huh? So folks, the lighter shaded green trees that you'll see around here are the tops of what is known as kukui nut trees. Now the kukui nut, it's also known as a candle nut because you could take the nut, cut the top and light it with a match, and it should stay lit for a couple of hours. Now the oil from that nut, it was also used as an herbal remedy back in the day for stomach aches. Folks, drink enough of the oil and you will find out sooner or later that it is a really powerful laxative. It'll run right through you. Whereas a husk from the nut, folks, it was used for anybody who had cuts in their mouths or babies that were teething. And that's because it does secrete a sap that makes your mouth really, really numb. Now, folks, like I was saying, the land that we're crossing over right now is Robinson land. Well, they have about 51,000 acres here on the island, and about 7,500 acres of this was once sugar fields. Out there on the far left-hand side on the shoreline. Now, originally, the Robinson family is the Sinclair family from Scotland. They made their way to Pigeon Bay, New Zealand back in the earlier 1800s to do cattle ranching. So around the mid-1800s, Mrs. Sinclair and her kids came out here to Kauai to do more cattle ranching and pretty much just settle down. So when she first got here, she actually acquired the island of Niihau from Kamehameha IV, who offered it to her for approximately $10,000 back in the day, folks. Whereas the land here on Kauai, it was said to be acquired for another $10,000.
Hey, you know, Kavika. Hey, you know, Kavika. Hey, oh, hey, you know, Kavika. Hey, oh,
The Olakele Canyon. The Robinsons, they own all the way up to the back of Olakele. Now, folks, on Olakele, it's a bird, a small bird with red feathers. The Hawaiians, they also called it the Iiwi bird. And they would capture the bird in this valley here and use some of the feathers to make the capes, the cloaks and helmets that Hawaiian royalty used to wear. Beautiful stuff, folks. The bird, it doesn't live in a valley anymore. It migrated onto the mountainside here off on the right-hand side. Off on the far left-hand side, at the end of the valley on the shoreline, is the town of Waimea. Now, Waimea, it means red water in Hawaiian. Red because, well, the dirt around here, it stains the water red. But that's where Captain Cook landed back in 1778. Now, when he landed there, the Hawaiians, they thought he was a god named Lono. Now, a couple years after landing in Waimea, he made his way over to West Kona, where his sailors, they got into a fight there with a group of Hawaiians. Well, Cook